Wait for us to appear on the YouTubes. We've appeared on the YouTubes. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Everybody watching. Oh, I gotta mute this YouTube. I'm hearing myself twice. How's everybody doing? We are here for the January Q&A. It's our first Q&A in 2018, so our answers will be extra spicy. I am joined by everybody except Blood, who is out, taking a little personal leave, and then Huber. We're not sure where Huber is, so Huber might pop in a few minutes. We will have to see. But we've got a lot of other allies here and a lot of questions to get to. I was very happy last time in December. We got through all of the questions. And I don't know if we'll get through all the questions again, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful now that we've done it once. I'm hopeful. Our first question comes in from Robert. He says, what was the worst decision you've had to make in a game that still haunts you? Or if you don't have an answer, you can substitute in with something that still haunts you that you did at game trailers. I'm a little bit confused by this question. Does he mean like in-game decision?
Yeah.
Or just any decision involving a game?
I know the answer right here.
Okay.
I already have immediate regret about it. If it's in game. I immediately regret not going with Becky in Persona 5.
Oh,
Picking Makoto was. I just gave in to chat peer pressure there. That was such a mistake.
Damiani, come on, man. Don't give in.
70 hours into the game, passing on Becky. I was just like, chat, I'm doing this for you. But afterwards, I just didn't feel the love between Makoto and I was just like, sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I miss Becky. I'm calling Becky on the phone. I'm sorry.
You don't feel the love.
God. I'm sorry. Can you not undo a relationship in Persona 5?
You can date other people.
Uh-huh.
But they were like, if you're not doing all of them, if you're not doing like their quote unquote harem ending, you have to. It's not, if you want the trophy, there's one trophy you get apparently by just romancing one person and sticking with them to the end of the game. So they were like, just don't do that. I mean, there are obviously people saying, do it, Damiani, every single person. They're like, yes, romance them, like go for it. But you get like a special scene if you romance either everyone or more than one person. I wasn't sure. I didn't do it, so I don't know.
If you do romance more than one person, there is a consequence that happens at the end of the game as well.
Yeah, a bonus. I didn't watch it. There's a bonus scene, right, or something like that. Just like a quirky thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a way a scene plays out that will happen differently depending on if you romance one person or if you try to romance a bunch of people. So awesome. I like that answer though, Damiani. That was pretty good. I'm surprised you weren't feeling Makoto though, because she was one of my favorite characters. But
Makoto's a good character. No, great character.
You weren't feeling the love.
I saw the cutscene when they were going to the desert palace, and they did the anime scene, and the van, the cat bus swerves, and he like holds her or whatever, and chat starts screaming, "Canon relationship!" right there. Just like wait for the Persona 5 anime to like double down and confirm that. I was like, no, I'm not going with this. I'm not going with the writer's intent here. That's the whole thing with Persona, is making your own choices. I want to see how it goes differently.
Anyone else have any gaming regrets?
I regret getting Sigurd killed in my retro playthrough of Dark Souls 1. Or Siegmeyer. Going down, he got killed in poison. I was trying to get his whole quest line for the retro, and he died in poison when I didn't even see him. Or he got gobbled up by some dude. And I was like, no, my quest line! So that was it.
I'm thinking of the ends of Metal Gear's 3 and 2. Metal Gear Solid 3 and 2. 3, obviously, but even like 2, when you take down Solidus, I was kind of feeling like, was this the good thing to do? Because Solidus actually makes a way better case than Raiden does for like his actions.
Sure.
So yeah, it didn't feel right to take him down in that moment.
I regretted doing the Alliance and not the Horde most of the time playing World of Warcraft.
Brandon, I love you. I love you. Oh man, that's such a good answer.
Like I don't have the Huber.
There's Huber.
I don't have the like I don't regret the decision when I made it. Like I think I still, if I go back in time, I don't think I could convince myself to not be Alliance. But like throughout the whole playthrough, for as much as I played, it was a bummer to just be. I remember picking a Death Knight and going to all those like bars and being like, every one of these is cooler than the Alliance bar. Like I made bad calls. It's a bad call, Ripley.
I like that Fortnite shirt, by the way.
The mode I don't play.
Most recently, I think I regret making a male character in Monster Hunter World as opposed to a female character, because while I really love the physical appearance of my male character, he's like this grizzled kind of Geralt looking character, what I think I like a lot of the female designs for the armor more than the male designs, and so that's a little bit of a regret.
You messed up.
I messed up, but
You messed up.
that PC version though, redeemed.
My recent regret is stopping playing Persona 5 to play Nier instead.
Sure. You can still play Persona 5.
It's
It's not
too late. It's over. The zeitgeist is dead.
How do I deal with this? All right. Huber, to catch you up to speed, man, it's like you're almost like kind of grayscale. I kind of like it. Like Noir Huber, by the way. To catch you up.
I don't want to mess with the camera. It seems like pretty light, which is good at least.
No,
sometimes
it's
it gets like really, really dark in here.
It's like when you're thinking of like a flashback. It's like Huber's in a park somewhere, and he's like, "Remember when I was on that Q&A?" And like, this is footage of that.
Huber, to catch you up to speed, we're talking about, did you have a gaming regret, like some decision that you made in a game and you wish you would have gone another way?
Ooh, I can't think of one right now, but hold it and I'll think of one.
Okay, sounds good. We will move on
to
the next one. Brian asks, "Hey everyone, since this question is pretty early on, let's keep this jolly." I got
it right here to interrupt you, Ben, before we move on to the next
Go
question.
ahead. Yeah.
With Angelo in Dragon Quest VIII, the first time through I went swords, but then my main character also had swords, and that bummed me out because I wanted everyone to have a different weapon.
Okay, I like that. Striving for diversity in your arsenal. Yeah. Brian asks, "I would like each of you to name one thing that another ally or allies did really well in 2017. It can be something you think they either didn't get enough credit for, or just something you think they did a great job with in general." Man, I got one out the gate, and it's a shame he's not here, but like, just the general Bloodworth steering the ship-ness, and I feel like he only improved in 2017. He does a lot of things that he will never get the amount of credit that he deserves for it, like reaching out to publishers, scheduling not only events, but things within Easy Allies. He's really good at following up with people if there's something that needs to be done. And he's always there to help people out too. Like there are a lot of times where it's like, oh man, I need some help with the thumbnail. Bloodworth will jump in and help me out. And so just really all of the behind the scenes stuff for Bloodworth, I think he really crushed it in 2017. So anyone else?
Bloodworth?
Kyle Bossman wrote a lot of funny Box Pete scripts that you all haven't read yet, and they're really good.
Hype. I like that.
I want that show. I want it. Like a fan.
I'll do shout outs to Ian and Damiani for creating 2 new shows that they just wanted to make. We said, like, what kind of shows do you want to make? And they said, I want to make this and I want to make this, which is, the point of Easy Allies. So yeah, they put a lot of work into those. So yeah, they're cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ian with mandatory update, easy update. 10 out of 10. Found your stride this year, I feel like. And I've really enjoyed the last 6 months.
Thank you.
Of update.
I'm going to shout out Blood, serving as my editor on the retro. A long, long journey.
Word editor.
Word editor.
Cool. Good stuff.
Just continued shout out to Jones for letting us invade his space.
The tolerance.
Tolerance, yeah. General patience.
I couldn't do it. Like having us be in my apartment all the time would drive me insane. So props to Jones for sure.
We can't do like just a one-off podcast at Kyle's or something, you know, just to change it up, you know.
I would love that. If we went to
I would
Kyle's
love that
house.
too.
Can you imagine his anxiety?
I don't even want it to be a podcast. I want it to just be sitting in Kyle's apartment and just hearing the noise around him. And that's the whole podcast. And it's like 8 hours long of us just listening to the noises.
The commute to Reno, though, it's just too long.
Yeah.
Does that guy still play guitar, Kyle?
Yeah, much less now. Much less.
Nice.
It feels like my complaint finally went through.
Nice.
He just lost inspiration.
Yeah, you've killed his art.
I'll give props to Brad for Souls Retro. Like, pretty much taking that on almost pretty much like solo. Like it was a huge project and stuff to get that like done. So like good on that. And want to give shout outs to Ben, because this needs to be said, because I want to help out Ben here. Like Ben's image here. Ben really steps up a lot by taking a lot of games that one, he's genuinely interested in, but two, none of us would ever touch, so they would not get coverage. So without Ben, a lot of the stuff that you hear come up is mostly, again, due to Ben. Like Ben puts in a lot of effort to do that. So I know there's like some of our community likes to make a meme about it, but like it is like never ever been like taking stuff away from us. It has been like no one wants to do it, and Ben's like, yo, I'm gonna do this, because Ben genuinely like loves like all games. So shout outs to that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good shout outs.
Thank you, Damiani. It's always weird. It's always weird, like praising each other. I don't know. I don't know why it feels weird. I don't really have anything to follow up on that, but
Hopefully we don't have to do that again for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Back to
I like it a lot.
All right. Next comes in from Rebecca. She says, "Hi, allies. I'm very excited for Tabletop Escapades Season 2, so I thought I'd ask a silly question. If Tabletop Escapades was an RPG, what kind of quests would your characters give to the player? Good luck for all future episodes."
Oh, man.
I would, the way that I would do it is I would have rewards, because you guys really get attached to specific things. So like, there's a long time where Yogala and Nikator were really into money. And so I would, want to get you guys like involved in a heist where you could get a bunch of gold or dive into a room with gold all over the place. Therese would be interesting, because I think Therese would have a lot of flexibility. Be like, you could just kill everybody and be by yourself and be the most powerful person, or find true love, or whatever it would be. Like, that would be a lot of fun. Pumper, I would want like his own social link system, and he starts at everybody max. That like there is no beginning, middle, and end. It's just everybody he talks to. It's like they've known him for years. That's what I would think. But those are just
fantastic
off the cuff ideas. What's up?
I definitely think that every quest we gave would have like 4 secret hidden quests within them, so that like doing the straight ahead like thing that like every quest would be like, go here, like something really simple. Yeah. But then the player character would always like, never do what the actual quest is to do. You would say go here, and you wouldn't code anymore with that. You would just immediately start coding and working on the 10 other possibilities. All the other things you could do. Yes, you would never finish the thing that you initially set them out on. Yeah. It's like the path. You could beat the game in like 3 minutes.
Fame, the Princess of Peace, gives you this mission where it's called the 24-hour peace challenge. And the idea is to not attack anything over 24 hours, which you think is very simple at first. But then there are temptations. There's like an enemy that's just like a blob that's worth like 10,000 XP. And you have to like not do it. And then like the evil emperor is there, and he's like about to like sip poison or his tea, and you could put poison in the tea and just end the game right there. But like you have to resist. And if you do, you get a Zanzheim.
No, if you
If you didn't have the dart,
like, if you do, you get like 100 XP. You don't get a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't get anything.
Oh no,
The journey is its own.
You just
reward.
learn the path.
Yeah.
I'd give out like a food quest. You have to go like gather the townspeople and like collect food ingredients, and then I'll cook a big meal.
That's a good quest, dude.
Yeah, I like that, Huber. That's good.
Gather the townspeople.
Our next one is a recommendation from Michael. He says, "Hello, Easy Allies. I just want to recommend a few games I thought you'd like. Iconoclast, a platformer on PS4. Axiom Verge, an action-adventure platformer on Nintendo Switch. Ian Celeste, an action platformer on PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Huber, Aka, Neo Geo Top Hunter. Oh, I think that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Roddy and Kathy, a side-scrolling platformer on PS4. The Coma,
Yes.
a survival horror game on Nintendo Switch. Damiani, Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King, an action-adventure RPG platformer on Nintendo Switch. And The Longest 5 Minutes, an RPG that will be released on Switch on February 16th, 2018.
Yo, dude, the Coma looks like Danganronpa, and I'm super into it.
Ooh, nice.
Like it's called The Coma Cutting Class.
Oh, nice.
Korean high school student. Never heard of this game. Came out October 2015, but is coming to Switch supposedly, or is already out on Switch. Dude, I'm gonna give that game a shot. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play The Longest 5 Minutes. I'm super into that. Celeste and Iconoclast look awesome too.
Iconoclast intimidates me. I watched a trailer. I shouldn't have done it. It looks very puzzle heavy.
Huber, here's the thing. I watched the exact same trailer. I don't see a puzzle in the entire trailer.
Dude, they're like turning switches and like grinding rails, and
that's
like,
not a puzzle. That's not a puzzle.
Grinding rails?
Yeah.
That's not a puzzle, Huber.
Is Jet Set a puzzle game?
Yeah.
SSX is my favorite puzzle game.
Yeah, just movement can be a puzzle.
I think there are puzzles in the game. I think there totally are puzzles inside the game. I just didn't see them in the trailer. I don't know what turned you off, dude.
Maybe just like my puzzle sense was like,
yeah. I think so, dude.
Huber, I would love to do a series where we just like burn through a bunch of puzzle games, man. That'd be so much fun. Oh, I think that would be awesome.
When I played Ian's Portal level, it was like facing my fears. It was nice having Ian there with me. I wasn't alone to get like upset.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's nice like doing it with a group.
It'd be nice to do a cut down of the stream where it's just the parts where he doesn't know what to do. Like you actually get no progress, like watching the stream. It's just the camera's not even moving in the gameplay. It's just Huber in the corner, like for like 40 minutes.
What? Just out of curiosity, is there a particular puzzle game that you've encountered that has intimidated you the most?
You know what really turned it around in my life that like really got me on the puzzles are intimidating train was Darksiders 1.
The portals?
Portals and lasers. I can remember just really enjoying my time with Darksiders 1 and then getting to this dungeon that had like portals and lasers, and I was there for like over a week.
Because like Breath of the Wild or any of the other Zelda games seem like it's just no big deal. Like you just dive in and it's chill.
I think because it's Zelda, I am a little more patient
and optional.
Yeah,
you're doing it to yourself.
And Zelda just does a really good job of like maybe kind of easing you into it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you respect the Zelda legacy. That's why.
Exactly. Brad knows. I respect the legacy. I have to be patient with Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
There's some stuff that kind of breaks it up. Then, like if it's a pure puzzle game,
that's
like,
a lot worse than
just one after another. Then I kind of get like fatigued. Yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing about an action game. It's like I like when they break it up a little bit.
Okay. Our next one comes in from Professor Metal Gear. This very much ties in with his name. Each ally has been granted abilities unique to the FOXHOUND team from Metal Gear Solid 1. If each ally had to pick only one of these abilities, which of the following would they choose? The choices are Lightning Fast Reflexes, Revolver Ocelot, Psychokinesis, Psychomantis, and Telepathy, Master of Disguise, Decoy Octopus, Superhuman Strength, Vulcan Raven, Patience and Calmness, Sniper Wolf, or Near Limitless Resilience, Liquid Snake.
Sniper Wolf. I'm taking that stuff for sure.
Do we each only get one? Is that like off the table now, or can we all?
Yeah, you can't have mine.
There weren't enough.
Dibs, Decoy Octopus.
I want psycho powers.
Liquid, then. I'll be invulnerable.
Well, there's not 9 of them. We can't have...
Too bad!
There's not 9 of us, though, in this room.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There's only 7.
You got to be
Fair
fast.
point. All right, Revolver Ocelot.
Nice.
I'm taking Volgan.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you say Vulcan or Vulcan Raven?
Yeah, I thought you
I'm
were saying...
dipping into 3. Taking
Okay.
Like the bullets, dude?
Okay. Well, we can dip? We can go other places?
It was not nerd. I had to dip.
Huber can, but that's his power.
Okay. Hubert's power is to dip from other games. All right.
Got the dip.
All right. Good question. Fun question. Our next one comes in from a pack of puppies. I can't think of anything to ask, so each ally tell us an interesting fact that they would like us to know about the person to their right, order decided by the little mini windows on Ben's screen, which I believe is matching what we see at home. Yeah, it should be. Okay, so we'll just do this one by one.
Yeah, just tell us who to do.
Yeah, Brad, you tell us an interesting fact about Brandon.
About Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon.
Gulp.
Brandon played Han Solo in a Star Wars musical.
When?
1997.
Sweet. Perfect.
Good year.
Good stuff. Good year. Yeah, good year.
That's
Good
the
year
re-release
for
year, right?
Han Solos.
Oh,
Special
bad year.
edition, yeah.
Bad year.
Brandon, tell us something interesting about Ian.
Ian is also very musically inclined. Obviously, you know that for his rocking and rolling, but Ian is very well versed in lots of musicals, and he himself has been in lots of musicals and performed on stage multiple times.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to say Jones was really good at that.
He's good at telling us unique facts about each other.
Yeah, like I feel like he did the stall technique.
Yeah, he's pro.
Yeah, it was pro, Jones.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
That's why he gets the big bucks. Ian, tell us something interesting about Kyle.
Jeez. Kyle just is interesting. I find him very fascinating. Like, this sounds like a cop-out, but like for real. No. But like, I mean, he's a person that I don't get tired of. I'm always curious, like, what's going on in your head? Because you just don't know. You can't tell. He's a crazy person.
Hard to read.
Hard to trend.
Yeah.
Trending Gamer 2018. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Kyle, tell us something interesting about Damiani.
What a setup.
Jeez.
Well, shoot, we kind of most of the interesting facts I learned through Q&As, like that Damiani loves Star Trek. Damiani is what's an interesting fact that's public knowledge. Private life chat. An interesting fact about Damiani. Well, this one's public and is so cool. That he was on stage at that Nintendo E3 where they first showed off Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
They introduced him as a prolific Zelda player
Reggie
and brought him out on
Fils-Aimé
stage.
introduced him.
Yeah, like that's such an interesting fact. That's a good fact. It's worth looking at that video again.
Yeah.
Damiani, tell us something interesting about Michael Huber.
Oof. I do want to say I'm not a fan of these questions, by the way.
Oh,
Just want to say that.
What?
Want to get that out
Called
there.
out. Called out. Okay.
What?
Just saying that, like not a fan of these questions. Like, do not like them. Do not like them. Do not like them. Geez, Huber. Yeah, I was prepping for Brad because I thought I was going by my right image, so now I'm like completely thrown off. Huber, yo. I mean, everything like wrestling though is like way too known and stuff. Like I don't think like that's as interesting anymore. I think it was more interesting because when you found out like I was into it, you were like, "What, Damiani?"
Yeah, dude.
That was like hilarious. But this is about you. Jeez. Yo, dude, when you tried to play, when you busted out a musical instrument for us, Huber, and I thought it was like a joke, and you know, I like seriously, guys, like I can do this. Like I played, I was like, what? I had no idea, Huber. Like that was insane. So I never would have guessed that about you. I was like, that's pretty cool. Way more talented than I am.
All right, Huber, you got to do me.
Benjamin Moore. Ben actually likes every video game. Like I used to think growing up that I loved every video game. Like I thought that. I was like, dude, I love every game, every genre. It doesn't matter. Like, throw anything at me. I love them all. I'm obsessed. All I want to do when I grow up is just do something with video games. And then I met Ben Moore, and I was like, I know nothing about video games. I don't like any games. So, like,
I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm choosing to interpret it as a good thing.
Oh, it is a good thing, Ben.
Yeah,
it is a
good
very good thing.
That's probably like the highest praise Huber can give.
Bradley Ellis, I got to do you. And there were a couple of things rolling through my head. But the one that I remember, and you're going to have to help me out with this, is you can't, like, the only people who joined after me, it was Huber, and then it was you. And, like, normally with people, you know, when they join a work that you've been a part of for a while, it kind of, like, takes a while for you to warm up to them, and, you know, you kind of go through a whole process. And I think on your first day, we had a conversation about something, and, like, I don't think with any other coworker in my life, it was just immediate, like, yep, we like each other. We're going to get along. Everything's on the same page. I think it was about Final Fantasy because you were sitting with the Lightning standee in, like, your little cubicle. And we just had this conversation and, like, this immediate, like, comfortable flow with each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah. It was immediately Japanese video games, I think.
It was something, yeah. It was a usual suspect.
Yeah, I was like, oh, comfort immediately.
Yeah. And so that was nice. And, like, our relationship hasn't changed, really, since day one.
No,
it's kind of been the same. Yeah. All right. Our next comment comes in from Ace. Real comment. Thank you guys for everything. The Goaty stream, and especially last month's meet and greet, is always surreal how down to earth you all are. To be arm in arm with Hubers, shitting on PC games, or having Brad know my handle despite having only met twice in person. Love you all. Persona 5, true Goaty. What is your dream sequel to any one franchise? You choose the franchise and detail the plot.
I'm kind of getting a lot of those right now as it is. But
must be nice.
The way my brain works, I'm sitting here right now. So the first one that popped into my brain was Batman Beyond from Rocksteady Games. Just freaking give me Batman Beyond. I want it. Let's go.
That's a good answer, I think. My no joke. My dream sequel is fucking Phantasy Star Online 3, please. I feel like I've been saying this for 5 years. That's it. Just make it and have it come out here for real. That's it. Doesn't need to be any more complicated. Anybody else?
Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah. Good one. Revengeance 2.
Good answers, boys.
I guess you would call it SSX 2 because the last one was just called SSX. But
No.
Get back to the SSX whatever. SSX whatever would be a great title, I think, actually. And get back to the single mountain. I don't want to go to, like I don't care if the mountain's real. That doesn't interest me at all. I want to go to some crazy place I've never been before. Make it just the biggest mountain that bigger than any mountain could conceivably be, and just make it like Breath of the Wild. Make it just I'm constantly just going in all sorts of crazy directions looking for stuff, finding little Easter eggs here and there.
I want Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, you do.
Portal 3.
Good answer.
Obviously, Bloodborne 2. Also.
Right.
Right.
And Monster Hunter World 2.
Right.
You know what, Ian? I want Bloodborne 2.
Woo!
That would be probably in my top 10 of like sequels I could just wish into existence. Like,
Yeah. We need Huber to wish for it, though.
More of that, please.
It's coming. It's cooking.
He's got it in the Dragon Balls. It's coming.
Yeah.
That's how I choose to believe he makes things happen.
He's got Dragon Balls.
He's just
Just
in
keeps
his off
collecting
time.
the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, he just keeps collecting the
Dude,
Dragon
I've been
Balls.
watching, man. Just finished Zarba one.
Zarbon.
Ginyu Force, dude, en route right now.
How does Zarbon die?
Vegeta gets blasted.
Blows them up, yeah.
Nice.
Really, dude, like really brutally. He punches a hole through his entire body and then like blasts away.
Yeah, I like when Vegeta can get a kill.
Dude, Vegeta's got a couple kills already.
Hey, how do you feel about that sweet Zarbon transformation?
I think it's awesome.
Where he's like a big brute.
Yeah.
He hates doing it because he's like obsessed with beauty.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Dude, it's so good. Oh my god, I'm freaking out right now about Kai.
Zarbon for fighters.
That'd be
All right.
cool, dude. Can any characters transform mid-battle, Ben?
Yeah. So like Frieza can go into Golden Frieza, for instance,
Oh, nice.
which is cool.
Cool.
Our next one comes in from Ulf. Hey, allies, what is one thing you want to do differently in 2018 compared to 2017?
We had a long list.
Yeah. It's an evolved question for sure.
Higher production.
I want to talk to more developers.
Ooh.
Nice, dude.
That's a good one.
I want to grease some palms.
My big thing is covering more better. And that's where the cutting down the streams idea came from. And I'm glad Kyle was the first one to jump on that and take advantage of it. And I hope.
Oh, you did that already, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
that's up.
Oh, okay.
And I want all of us to do it. I don't want that to just be a couple of people. I want it to be as many people as possible.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Check it out on YouTube.
Oh.
Checking it out.
Dude, Genie-mon.
Ian, what do you got there? What is that?
Oh, this is a Roost laptop stand. I got it on Kickstarter a couple years ago.
Does that go with your hammer dulcimer?
No,
Where is the hammer dulcimer?
in my room.
You ever bust it out anymore?
It's always out. It's giant. It's like big. It's like 3 feet wide. Maybe 4. I don't know.
Yo, what's Omar playing right there?
Dude,
Monster
Omar's
Hunter
playing.
World, baby.
Playing
Nice.
Power.
Who is-
Check it out.
Dude, I went online. I went on PSN last night.
Mhm.
And usually there's like 15, 20 people. Maybe when a new game comes out, there's like 30 people.
Yeah.
65 friends online. Like 45 playing Monster Hunter.
Dude, you have too many PSN friends.
That's too many fans.
Zeitgeist.
Oh, I like that. I like that cutaway.
Dude, Charge
Training
Blade.
area. Nice.
Ian, just keep the camera
Omar's
over there.
checking out the training area. Charge Blade.
You know what? Omar looks engaged.
Yeah.
Omar's engaged.
I love when someone has like no like smile on their face, but you know, like this is it. This is exactly everything is falling in place right now in their life. Like this is just.
Omar, how you liking it so far? Oh yeah. That's the Monster Hunter promise.
But you find one you like.
For 2018, I want to have a much more intense regimen of work schedule, if that makes sense. I'm just directly referring to Box Peak, to be honest. And then also, I just want to light my personal streams better. I'm gonna try to get a nice lamp or something.
Hey, Kyle. The last 2 weeks, I've been thinking a lot about stream lighting, and if you find a solution that works for you, please share that.
So Ben, I googled it. It, and honestly, some people say light boxes, like we have back at Easy Allies, back in Joe's garage, but they say a really cheap, easy solution is just a crane lamp that you can get like at IKEA.
Because I got this shelf here. Maybe I could get a crane light that kind of bends down above my head. I don't know.
That would be
good. Okay, great. Problem solved.
Don't light yourself from above. That's not good.
As close to behind the camera as possible, basically, right? Yeah.
And then you could get just a normal lamp with a bulb that points forward and then just slap diffusion on it and you're set.
What does that mean, slapping diffusion on it?
Just go on Amazon and search for diffusion. It's like a little, it looks like wax paper. It makes the light softer. So it's not just right on your face.
Great. Good stuff.
I've started guilds and stuff before in games at GT and Easy Allies. I have my Galaxy of Heroes guild, but we've never streamed anything. I don't engage people a lot in the guild. I had a little player feedback when I did Toy Box Tuesday, but that was kind of on a one-on-one basis. I never really got a bunch of people together. When Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, it's on. I'm gonna do a big Patreon, Twitch engagement with people. Get a posse going and get a weekly thing going where we do whatever the hell we're gonna do in that game.
Right, but 2018, Jones, 2018.
What did I say? 17?
No, I'm just making a thing that game's not coming out this year.
Oh, it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it's coming.
I'm
a little bit worried about
coming out in July, dude. Get ready.
Brandon Jones.
I think it's coming.
Brandon, is Red Dead 2 going to wreck you? Is that going to be it?
It's going to be
free.
Yeah.
It's going to free me. Yeah. It's going to evolve.
Get out of my garage, you filthy animals. I need to play this game.
It'll be dicey whenever I get the game in my hands. Between then and embargo, that's going to be real dicey. But after it comes out, nothing but good vibes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna look at John.
I like it.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
Avoid his eyes. His eyes will tell a spoiler.
We're going a little slow with the questions, but I do want to try to get
4 questions in.
I do want to get as many people speaking as possible. Damiani, things you want to do differently in 2018?
I really agree with everything. A lot of the things have been said. I want our streams to look even better, and I'm talking about the mortises. Blood's already kind of done a little bit on that, but I keep seeing EDGQ. I keep seeing Evo Japan's going on right now, and I see these really nice looking mortises, really nice presentations, and I want that. I want that for us. At least I want it. At the very least, I want it for E3. I have big dreams for E3. I want us to look really good in terms of our layouts and stuff and graphics and assets during E3. So I really want to go all out on that and do a lot of planning to make that happen.
Good stuff. Our next question comes in from Matt. Hello, Allies. The single greatest televised event of the year, the Super Bowl, is nigh, and I'm wondering what the Allies' experience with this magnificent game is. Are you looking forward to Brady versus the underdogs, or do you have any favorite past Super memories? Any favorite foods you eat this time of year? Could you really just not care less? Would love to know.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
So my roommate,
I think that was an answer.
My roommate comes from, back in college, back in 2008, comes from Connecticut. So he's a hardcore Patriots fan. And 2 roommates, actually. it was so fun to watch the Giants beat the Patriots because those two guys wanted to cry at the end. They were silent. They were suddenly not my friends anymore for the rest of the night. They were so hurt. And so I was still roommates with them again 2 years later. So I guess 2010 we're talking, when it was Giants Patriots again. And we did the funniest thing. We pitched in for the two of us $100 McDonald's gift card. And the person whose team lost got the $100 McDonald's gift card.
Nice.
So if your team loses, you're then humiliated again with this $100 of McDonald's that you have to go spend.
Okay.
And of course, the Patriots lost again. This time they like pretended not to be hurt. They're like, "Nah, we've seen this before. We're not hurt." They're like, "Come on, I'll just go buy McDonald's. I'm fine." And they're totally still hurt. Oh, that was great memories. I love to watch the Patriots lose. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to next Sunday.
Well, Kyle just ruined mine. My favorite Super Bowl Sunday is making it the whole day without realizing it's Super Bowl Sunday. That's a victory. But now I know it's next Sunday. So
next Sunday.
Yeah, I have two that are not sports related at all. One, Super Bowl used to be an excellent day to go to Disneyland, and it just doesn't, and not anymore.
Oh,
I think because I think it might be more with the advent of like smartphones. That like it's easier, you know, like maybe, you know, dads could go and like listen to it if they were just forced. It was like a vacation or something, or but I think now it's like, oh, I'll watch it on my phone, or like I'll just be around people. So if you like at least have somewhat of an interest, you know, and don't necessarily need to go to a huge party, that, and I performed with like about 8,000 other kids in the Michael Jackson Super Bowl halftime show, where he sang "Heal the World" and "Man in the Mirror" and a couple other things.
Wait,
you were
Jones,
you were
what?
in that? You were there?
Yep.
You never told us this.
What the hell, Jones?
I have brought this. I have brought this
That's
up.
a fact.
That's exactly.
No,
write that down.
Yeah, write that down for
close?
next time.
Yeah, someone write that down.
How
I
close to Michael Jackson did you get?
Very close. I was if you go back and watch it, if you want to like bring it up on YouTube, like Michael Jackson Super Bowl halftime show, when he sings "Heal the World," this giant inflatable globe like inflates in the middle of the stage. And I had some friends that would go around like with choir groups and performance groups, and they were just like, "Hey, we're gonna be in the Super Bowl halftime show with Michael Jackson. Do you want to jump in?" And it was like, "Oh my!" And I had to do like 2 rehearsals where we like all met at a place, got in a bus, like drove down, and we didn't actually perform with Michael until the Super Bowl, until he actually like came out. And I was up on the stage, and he like was, you know, went up like right in front of us and was jumping around. And there was a very bizarre looking human being. He's a strange looking person, or was. And he's one of my, when I was a kid, I had the glove. I dearly love that man. He's written some of the best music ever. But I remember him running by and being like, yeah, that's a weird looking guy.
John,
that is a story.
That is a story.
Uh-oh. Everybody cut out.
Uh-oh. Can you hear us,
no.
Jones?
Oh no.
I can't hear.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
Jackson's people, they're coming after you.
It was the ghost.
You weren't supposed to tell that one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jackson's ghost. Found you, Brandon.
You just got copyright flagged.
I just want to add though, like, just being able to chill out and watch the Super Bowl is amazing. Like, growing up, working in restaurants for so long, like, anytime a big event would go down, whether it was the MLB playoffs or the Super Bowl or some big TV event, like, I felt like I was always working, like I could never watch it. So just being able to like chill with the family and like watch a game is really awesome. It's good vibes.
So which of these kids are you, Jones? I'm watching the video right now.
If it's the official broadcast, I didn't make it on camera. I remember I was in like history class at school, and I brought it up, and they were like, "You were in it?" And he's like, "I've got it on tape," and they put it in, and I'm like, "I'm not."
I got it on tape.
I watched it. I'm not in it, and they're like, "I don't see you, man." And I'm like, "I didn't." There's like,
Wait, do you still have it
8,000
on tape?
kids. No, there's like 8,000 kids. There's
Yeah.
all in robes, you know, and we're like, "Heal the world, make it a better place." Yeah,
What year is that, Jones?
I have no idea.
1993.
93. Oh man.
Jurassic Park.
Jones, I remember like it was
here.
famous because like he took a really long time to start. Do you remember that?
I mean, no, because I'm just in backstage. It's like, what do I know about?
Oh,
like,
okay,
like
cool.
we're not watching the game, so it's just like
Sure.
we just hang around and talk to each other until they tell us to go out.
The YouTube video has it, and it says, "Wow, one of my top 5 faves." No, seriously, this is one of his best ever for Michael Jackson.
And Brandon was a part of it.
Yeah.
Our next question comes in from Joseph. He asks, "Hey allies, I'd like to hear your thoughts on an often ignored aspect of gaming, the issue of physical comfort. I've done much to improve the ergonomics of my computer desk and chair, but regardless, I can usually only play games or edit videos for a few hours before my body starts to ache. Maybe it's just my low pain tolerance, but I find it hard to remain absorbed in a game when your legs are digging into your chair's padding or your wrists or neck start to bother you. Since you gentlemen play games professionally, I'm sure you sit a lot in a given day. If your schedule can't afford you the luxury of sitting in shorter bursts, what are your methods for getting and remaining comfortable for long gaming sessions? Is it worth investing in better ergonomics, or should we just deal with the pain?"
Yo, dude, have you guys seen these headlines that have come out about text neck the last couple days?
What is it?
Have you guys seen these headlines?
No, tell me.
People do
It's
this all day.
called text neck.
Okay.
And it's like, and it just came out, New York Times, like everyone, like 2 days ago. It's like this big thing. It's talking about how your head has about 10 pounds of pressure, but when you look down at your phone, it brings it up to like 60 pounds of pressure. And it's like not only destroying all of our bodies, but our mental health as well, because we're like down. And it's like this subliminal, subconscious thing about just looking down all the time. It's really intense.
Jeez. Holy moly.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's called text neck, dude. It's like all over the place right now.
Huber, I'm into this kind of science.
Yeah. I want to take like the deep dive into it. Except I don't know what to do.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that this kind of science really depresses me.
Yeah.
It's just like this piece of information where it's like, you are dying all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a hard thing to carry with you, man. I don't know.
There are exercises to combat text neck. I'm looking at now.
Nice.
Speaking of that stuff, yeah, I recommend getting a band, like a they sell them at like, you know, like a sports store or something, but just like a nice, they actually will sell them in packs of like different resistance strengths, so you can try one out and be like, oh yeah, that's good.
Hey, man, you can get those at Target.
Oh yeah, and then put it behind your back. So it's just like, think of basically when I'm playing games and you're like hunched over, make your body do the opposite motion. Because that when you see, whenever you're like at the market and you just see some like old person walking around, like that's you, man. Like they didn't have yoga in the 20s. Like, so they just did, you know, they had no idea what they were doing themselves. Whereas like we're you know, a society that's much more careful about long-term effects of like staying in one position for too long.
See, I'm kind of hoping it's like an Elder Scrolls or Final Fantasy II situation where by being in that state almost all the time, eventually I'm just slowly evolving and getting used to it to where it is the best situation for me to be in. Like I'm just constantly leveling it up.
That's what I think about fast food.
Yes.
Yeah. You're building up an immunity.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so that is just the approach that I would continue.
By this point, it's good for me.
I do want to say to the question that, like, yeah, work on your ergonomics. Like, whatever you're spending, I feel like if it's a super expensive chair that will make you more comfortable, I think it would be worth it.
No doubt. I agree, Kyle.
I need a new chair for real.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
One with neck support, yeah. The standing
This
up
IKEA one
sometimes is
The one that Ian had that I got, this IKEA
Yeah,
one.
dude, this one is great.
It's so cheap.
Oh yeah, you have the same one.
Like $200,
Yeah,
which is really good for a chair.
Get up during loading screens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get up.
Take
water.
Get up, drink lots of water.
Yeah, I tend to get on my phone during loading screens, which is not great.
Jones,
Water.
2018 is going to be the year of getting up during loading screens. Dude, I'm
Yeah.
into this. I like it.
So you put that solid state drive into your system.
Yeah.
Tobias 5 comes out. It's just too fast.
I find I get more sore on the couch than at my computer, probably because I have this nice chair and I sit up straight at my computer and I have my monitors at eye level. But like, oh man, I'm really feeling this like 50 something hours of Monster Hunter.
Nice. There are just some things that I get mad at how expensive they are. Beds are something that I get mad at how expensive they are. It just seems crazy.
Dodgers
And
tickets.
chairs.
Dodgers
Definitely Dodgers.
You know, Ben, Dodgers tickets.
Next one comes in from Angelo. He says, "Hey allies, what was your weirdest, funniest gaming-related dream?" I don't remember many of my own dreams, but after waking up from a dream where I was inside Final Fantasy VII's world, basically playing the game in first person, I was convinced that there was an additional limit break for every character because I had a very vivid memory of Aerith's new limit break. She grew wings, floated far above the battlefield, and released a beam of energy.
I love that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, it's hard because I've definitely had gaming related dreams, but like other dreams, they've faded really fast. The one that just kind of springs into my mind is I feel like I've had fighting game dreams, but like I don't remember actually fighting. We just had like health bars above our names. I don't know. Yeah, that's it though. That's all I've got. Like I can't tell you where that dream went.
One time I had a dream about Giga Bowser. Way before I played Smash Bros. Melee.
Weird.
Did it look like that?
And like so to see Giga Bowser was like, oh, this is my dream come true.
So you like predict?
Oh yeah, he is in Melee. He's like one of the bosses. If you play deep enough into one of those modes, yeah. I dreamt him into existence. You're welcome.
Okay, you just reminded me, like 8 months ago, I had this dream where I was fighting this monster, and then I fought this Elder Dragon in Monster Hunter World, and it was the same. It was this bizarre sense of deja vu, like I foreshadowed the actual fight. Yeah. And it's not the first time that this has happened, and it sounds very similar to your Giga Bowser thing. Like you just made him real.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think something's going on with the universe.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Any other gaming dreams from people?
Can't remember any. I know I've had them. I do remember a dream from when I was a kid that was very like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, where like the camera angles were, I'm not usually like in my dreams, but it had like camera angles like Resident Evil, and the main character was this woman like in this cave under a city. It was really cool. And you were like moving gates to open water and stuff. So I definitely think it was very influenced by those old fixed camera horror games.
Not to derail everything, but Hubert, did you see these Remake 2 rumors?
Yeah.
For the 29th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Great.
What are you doing to him?
He made those rumors.
Got the Dragon Balls back together.
All right. Our next question comes in from Hudson. He says, "Hey, this might be a bit out there, but what is the most ridiculous demand you've seen a newcomer to a video game series make for them to be interested in it? With a huge influx of new players to Monster Hunter World, I can't help but roll my eyes when I see people asking for invasions, PvP, or a battle royale mode. What? Well, I haven't seen any of these. I understand that players want to look for what they like in other games, but it's funny and sometimes disheartening to see people gatekeep what other truly great games with their interests." Huh, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. I always get really mad. I mean, this is just a super general one where you have a great game with a great single player component and people ask for multiplayer or wish that there was multiplayer. That annoys me. But yeah, anybody else?
I wish there was a story mode in Overwatch.
Yeah, I wish that too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm kind of against the stance of the question because I think that the idea of newcomers like don't have the right to request things that they would like in the game. To me, that's gatekeeping. Do you know? I think
sure.
To me, like they're new to the franchise that you love, and so I realize it's annoying, especially in the Monster Hunter thing, because there are a lot of new people joining this franchise that like a lot of smaller group of people love dearly. Mm-hmm. But I think I don't know. Let them figure it out. Let them make those requests. And even if they added a battle royale to Monster Hunter World, would that be bad? You know. So I don't know.
What do you think about the fear? Not that they're making the requests, but like I refuse to give this a chance unless it has this thing, because I think that's a little bit different.
That happens too. Yeah, and you do see those.
I mean, let them not play it then. Who cares? Like if someone is the kind of person who's like, I'm not gonna play Monster Hunter unless it has Battle Royale, I'm like, smell you later.
Yeah, they're just not.
Do you
gonna
actually
like
say
it.
that to them?
Yeah, I phone them up. I'm like, smell you later. And they're like, what was that in reference to?
I got this call from this person, and they just said, "Smell you later." All right.
And then hung up.
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
Brandon, you feel like you got something. The gears are turning in your brain.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, I'm thinking of MMOs. There's got to be one with MMOs because I loved that so much and I played that so much back in the day. And I remember like really trying to wrangle other people into that game and them being turned off for many reasons. For some reason, I remember there was a great PvP PvE battle in our guild because we originally started on a PvP server and then went over to PvE. And I remember the PvP guys just being like, I cannot play World of Warcraft unless I can like make someone's life miserable. And I'm like, can you? Okay. I was like, this game's unplayable. I can't play. Like Burning Crusade's fun, but I can't get anywhere because flying death just takes me out. Like I cannot be in open space. If I'm out on the battlefield somewhere just walking around, I'm dead in 5 minutes. And I would like to play this game. It'd be fun. I remember that being a fierce battle, but that's kind of in the, I mean, kind of on point. Not necessarily, but I remember that being two ideals kind of clashing in the same game.
Yeah, when I was gearing up for Warlords of Draenor, I was dipping back in, and it had been a long time since I played World of Warcraft, and I was just doing, like, I wasn't even doing max level stuff. I was in Outland. I was in the Burning Crusade area, and there was no one else around me, and just a few minutes into the quest, you would have people just killing you for no reason, and it's just like I appreciate that this is there. This is something that I've enjoyed in the past, but, like, right now, I just want to collect these things.
Yeah, I mean, that always happens when you start a new MMO, when an expansion comes out, because everyone's in one place.
Yeah. All right, Damiani, you haven't spoken up in a while. Do you have any things like this when people ask for things in another game?
You know what I'm scared of now? I'm scared of Damiani secretly hating every type of question.
When he doesn't respond,
he's like, no.
That was another one through a wider window.
No, to be fair, it sounded just like Damiani's uncomfortable by it. He's not like angry.
Okay, all right.
All right, Damiani, you're more uncomfortable by the questions rather than in anger.
Yeah. Questions designed that might have some entertainment value that the asker wants out of the answers. So they might be fishing for certain responses. Those ones. I mean, the obvious one's the one I always like dread the most. Just people asking for sometimes single player in a multiplayer game, and the game never ever advertised itself or even hinted it was going to be like having a single player component. On the flip side, you know, a single player game, people demanding like, I want multiplayer in this game, whereas like the multiplayer, like it comes up in a bunch of like single player games all the time. Even like even like Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one. After people are like, I wish there's like a way to like just go into a lobby, kind of like Monster Hunter, and get like 3 friends and go through the environments and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I can kind of see that, but it doesn't really need that at all. But that's cool. I don't know, but like at the same time, like a game right now, Dissidia. Like the new one's clearly meant to be like a multiplayer focused game, but I loved the previous Dissidia games for the campaign they had, the story behind it, like especially like Duodecim being able, like it had a like nice realized like overworld map and had a story, had like dungeons. I was like, okay, I like this, and then all the combat was done in Dissidia, the PSP Dissidia's battle system, and I like that. There was no real push to go play people, like go play other human people. You can have a totally rewarding experience by just sticking to playing by yourself in this campaign, and it's kind of gone in the new one. There's just like an hour of cutscenes apparently, so it's like, oh well. I mean, but if you like the multiplayer in it, it's like, okay, cool. Like, but I could see like that. Like, I see people going, where's the campaign in Dissidia? So, like it just, I think it's more about established precedent there. If a game has had it before and it takes it out, I feel those can be valid. But like when something doesn't have it, and never ever hinted it was going to do that, and people start asking for it, then that's when I see it like become like kind of like it's a bit nagging. Service games are different though. Like sometimes people suggest things and they actually are good ideas, like bringing stuff in, like usually balance changes and stuff, but like quality of life stuff, like that stuff usually people get it right.
Cool. All right, Mike Hook. This question is for Ryan Thompson. Was any of it real?
Yeah.
All right, great. Next question comes in from Liz. First of all, my apologies for my question last month. I sincerely did not mean to make Kyle upset. Mea culpa. I don't even remember what the question was. Maybe Kyle could speak to that, but I wanted to ask.
I do not remember.
You could have been that upset.
Kyle's never upset.
We've gotten a couple of these before where like somebody's asked a question, we're like, oh, we don't like this, or we give a negative answer or something. I just want to say from my level, like I'm never ever mad at the question answers. We're just trying to be honest, and so don't take it personally. It's no hard feelings. Anyway, Liz asks, I wanted to ask, what sort of questions do you not get that you would like to answer? This was a question to Brandon on Cup of Jones, and I thought it might be fun to hear y'all's answers. As always, thank you so much for all that you do, especially the things that you do expressly for the Allies community.
I like the food questions. I like what our favorite cookie is, or like what type of soup we like, or something. Just because
I hate
but the answers are so weird. Like I know everybody's gonna have a different answer, and they're all gonna be weird. It's gonna be quick, and like I like those because I can't predict them, or they're not repetitive. It's not like, oh no, the soup question again.
Now we're gonna get so many soup questions, Jones.
I wish somebody would ask us what our favorite Tarantino film is. That's what I want.
Okay. My favorite questions are like the critical ones that are just like, why aren't you better at this? I like those.
You would say that.
Yeah. I like when somebody's just very blunt with us about something we're doing poorly and just like, why aren't you doing that better? It's like, then we have to respond to it. I like those.
Yeah, the blunt short ones are nice. I agree.
I like the ones where I learn new things about each of us.
Yeah, like that Michael Jackson story was amazing.
Yeah, like that's nuts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damiani should go because he criticized the question earlier. What kind of question do you like?
I don't know.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
I can only tell you questions I don't like.
No, there are more. There are more.
I gave you more examples of questions I don't like, but
please don't.
Yeah,
please don't.
Please don't.
We'll just get like a deluge of none of the.
We'll just assume it's all of them.
Moving on, I'm going to point this one directly at you, Huber, to get us started.
Okay.
Because it's your jam. Greetings from the USA, allies. What are your predictions for how well the gaming economy, in all caps, will change for the next 5 to 10 years? Will there be more subscription models? Will microtransactions get better or worse? Will Square Enix's premier Easy A action JRPG sell well? Both serious answers and fanciful predictions are encouraged.
I think loot boxes and microtransactions will be around for another year or two. But I think they're going to go away. I think it's impossible to predict like what's going to happen. I famously always think about mobile is the future and all this. And, every time these people make predictions, like they rarely come to fruition, I guess, because you can't imagine what's going to happen in the future with like the combination of technology and trends. Like who could have ever thought PUBG would have been as huge? Like Battle Royale is blowing up. And I think the end of this year with the Battlefront controversy and just the fan backlash at loot boxes and microtransactions, like putting those in your game now feels kind of like a death sentence. I still think they're obviously going to be around because people want to make money, but I think they're like shifting away.
Battlefront was one of the top selling games of the year.
Hubert, do you think, because I remember when DLC was first being introduced, there was a lot of pushback. And I remember, some mild pushback to things like Xbox Live when that launched in the original Xbox and then later PlayStation Plus. But, eventually those things just kind of exist underneath and they kind of get, I don't know, they become pieces of the puzzle, let's say. Do you think that could happen with loot boxes where, once this kind of dies down and aren't as maybe pointedly heinous as they were in Battlefront, where they're kind of regulated and there's like a certain expectation there that they just sort of exist?
Kind of disguise them within the game so they're less...
Not even just disguised, but just kind of get normalized, right?
Yeah.
That is scary. That is scary because I'm glad you brought up DLC, Ben, because I feel like DLC has become normalized where Assassin's Creed Origins now just kind of did the exact same thing that Lords of Shadow did, except no one has said a word. Like the newest Assassin's Creed Origins story DLC is after the main game. Just like, and when that happened in Lords of Shadow, everyone was upset. Granted, now that stuff's a little more transparent. We know, I'm sure Ubisoft was working on that DLC after the main game shipped. So I think people are a little more open to spending money on things like that. Like it wasn't maliciously held back at launch. They were still working on it. But I think you're right. I think it has normalized and, will that happen with loot boxes? I hope not.
Here, the point with Lords of Shadow, I think, which was more a big deal, is because it was super necessary for the sequel. Yeah. Because in the DLC, he becomes Dracula, and if you did not play that at all, you would have no idea why he's Dracula or what's going on. I don't know what Assassin's Creed's gonna do. It's what could they do to? Dude,
don't say that. And the new DLC is actually, in my mind, extremely important.
I don't feel like any of the story was really important in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Without giving anything away, I kind of agree, but this DLC is what I assumed Origins would be in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say more about that.
Make it right.
I would like to say about subscription services, I think it'd be foolish to root against them. Sorry, I don't mean rooting because it sucks that we're going to have subscriptions. I mean, to predict against them, I guess. I think that what's interesting is that there were more games published physically this year than last year and the year before. We're actually trending up in amount of games that go out in physical form into stores. But the way that the Xbox Game Pass is going and the way that TV is all streaming and movies are all streaming, it's really hard for me to imagine that we're not subscribing to video games 10 years from now.
I agree with that completely.
I agree with that too. The Xbox, there are too many hubs though. I've got Good Old Games hub. I've got the stupid, terrible Xbox hub for Sea of Thieves. There's Origin. There's Steam. There's Humble Bundle. It's too many. All
it takes is Gabe Newell to wake up angry one day and just buy it all.
But I don't know. But there's also there's HBO Go. There's Hulu. There's Netflix. There's Crunchyroll. There's CBS. Whatever they're doing. You know what I mean?
Access,
I think it's totally viable, and it's what games might look like in the future.
And we're all going to end up spending more money.
Yep.
Somehow.
Yeah. Question from Alexander. Greetings from Russia. In 2011, I bought an Xbox 360 and Kinect just to play Dance Central. I was planning to also play Limbo, but it was released on PC soon after, so I used this console only for the Dance Central trilogy. In 2013, I bought a Nintendo 3DS because I loved Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward, and wanted to play 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, which was unavailable on Vita. I finished it, played an hour of Super Mario 3D Land because it was bundled with the console, and never touched my 3DS ever since. I don't regret that I've bought both consoles because they weren't that expensive, and I had an amazing time with each of those games. I want to ask you, did you ever buy some general piece of hardware for a single game?
Oh, yeah.
Are you happy with your purchase, and do you still love it? I think most recently, like I bought PlayStation VR for Resident Evil 7. That was the
Atari Jaguar was my AVP machine. Aliens vs.
Sure. Yeah.
I played Cybermorph and Doom for like 5 seconds, but that was a $380 game.
So sometimes I like struggle for understanding. This is a person who cherishes the Dance Central trilogy, but got tired of Super Mario Land after an hour. I mean, everybody like play what you want to play, right? But like, give it another hour. That's such a good game. Such a good game.
I was thinking the same thing.
To answer your question, though, I mean, I love stupid games. I love so many. I don't want to say I'm not a high bar of video game taste. I want to say PlayStation 3, Metal Gear Solid 4.
I think I bought a Move for Killzone 3 and then never played Killzone 3 with the Move.
I mean, there's systems I bought for a specific game, but then played way more games on it.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 for PS3 was me too.
Like I was always going to get a PlayStation, but I would maybe never have gotten an Xbox 360 if it wasn't for Dead Rising.
I think I got a PS1 for Parappa the Rapper and Mega Man X4, but like,
nice.
I remember renting. Man, when you could rent video game consoles, was the best.
I know.
Like, I rented a PS1, rented those two games specifically, and was like, nope, like I can't say goodbye to this. This has to exist in my life. Yeah.
I think I bought PlayStation Move just for Johann Sebastian Joust and Sports Friends.
We never played Joust together. That was something we were going to do, and then it never happened.
The PlayStation, the version, like the sensitivity wasn't right. It like didn't work totally as well as it used to.
Sounds like an easy living category. Right there.
Brad, you got
yeah, baby.
Baby. I got the Sega Genesis for the
Write that
original
down.
Sonic.
Nice. Did you end up playing a lot more after that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
You know what? I feel bad for trashing this person. Like, you can totally not like Mario 3D Land. And I'm actually like thinking through it. There are parts you can definitely. I can see you getting sick of it in an hour. I get it.
Nah.
I get it.
No,
we had a whole arc here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
we had
it.
anger, disgust, and acceptance. It's nice.
Yeah, that's what it takes. What it takes.
Boston's growing.
Sections.
How about you, Damiani?
I can't think of a system I bought just for like one game and only played like a few games and then didn't touch it again. The only thing I could think of that was even remotely close was the Wii Zapper for Link's Crossbow Training, but like it came bundled with it, so I was gonna buy Link's Crossbow Training anyway. So like I didn't buy a Zapper to play that. Like I bought the game which came with it.
I forgot we had to disown the console. Like, I did not disown the PlayStation 3 after Metal Gear
Yeah,
Solid
like,
4.
sorry, like their question was like they bought or like just like a because otherwise there was like
It's like
games
something
that
you
got
only
me to
use
finally
once.
jump into a system, but I'm trying to think of something like I discarded. Like the maybe Super Game Boy was like the one I played the least in the end, but I still played a bunch of. I played a bunch of games on it, but like I moved as soon as that. As soon as Game Boy Advance came out, I was like, oh, I could play every Game Boy game on this because Super Game Boy couldn't play Game Boy Advance games, and it had couldn't play Game Boy Color games either. It could only play like normal Game Boy games. So I was like, I guess it was when Game Boy Color came out. I was like, well, you're obsolete now. So thanks for that, like 2 years or 3 years or however long it was out.
I bought an Xbox One for Sunset Overdrive, and I haven't touched that thing in a long time.
One. I bought a CDI to play.
Yeah.
CDI Zelda games, and I never touched it again. There you go.
Did you play the CDI Zelda game?
Oh yeah, I did. And
Still want to stream those, Dummy Honey.
You don't ever need to play those games.
Let's make it happen.
Watch them on YouTube. Worst hit detection came from those games.
Yo, it's fair in those games.
Our next question, and I really like this question a lot, is all for Damiani. It's from Multi Johnny, and he says, This question is for Damiani. How was your time at Funimation? Recently left my job at a competitor to Funny, and I was wondering how the experience was for you. I found the anime industry to be highly stressful, and it ruined my love of the medium for a while, and I saw it become more of a job than a love, and that was disappointing. Also, and this is for everyone, how do you keep your love of video games a love rather than a job?
All right. The experience this person described it sounds like how I envisioned ever working at a game company. Like, people always like, oh, why don't you go, like, wouldn't your dream job be to work at Nintendo? And I'm like, probably not, because I'd be terrified. Like, what this person just described about working at an anime company and it being like your passion, but then like you work there and you find out it's not like all that great and stuff, and it kind of kills your love for something like you really cherished for a long time, perhaps like through your childhood and longer. So it kind of like ruins it. So I always thought that way about like working at a video game company. I don't know, I said first person, but yes, I enjoy anime. I'm not a huge anime enthusiast, especially more and more as the years have gone on. I'm extremely picky at this point where I'm just not open to watching a lot of stuff anymore because I'm just like, I'm at that phase where I'm like, older anime was better, new anime sucks. Like, it's not entirely true, but like that's just my mindset. But I can say this: I did witness like people who were like completely, like 100% their life was like anime. Like, it was like the biggest passion. Like how much we love games here at Easy Allies, and I would see like people kind of just like encounter stuff that like would just be infuriating. If it was me in that position, I'd be like, holy crap, like this is just gonna like make you like get upset and angry with your like at work, which in turn is gonna make you like take it out on like your if this was your passion and hobby as well, now it's kind of like ruining it as well. So without saying too much, like some people did eventually like would leave because it's like, I can't do this. Like I want to leave. I like anime. I don't want anime ruined and stuff. But I mean, there's still people there apparently who like have worked there for a long time and love it. So I think it just depends on the team you're in and like who's your boss, like a lot of different factors and stuff. So I mean, it can go either way. That's unfortunate that like for the person who asked this that like you didn't have a good experience and stuff. But yeah, I know people who like had a great time and still work there. People who didn't have such a great time and stuff. Me, it was like a good learning experience to see. It basically confirmed a lot of stuff, some of my suspicions about things, especially working for a company that's beholden to basically a Japanese, not parent company, but like similar to like how U.S. subsidiaries like NOA, like Square Enix USA, Capcom USA, Bandai Namco, like how they have to report to Japan, and Japan's like their boss. Some of the frustrations you have to deal with, I now sympathize a lot and understand that a lot of the stories are true. So that was good to learn and be like, yep, okay, I know better now. But yeah, again, sorry that it worked out that way. But maybe if you still love it, maybe try a different anime company. I don't know where you didn't say which one it was, obviously, but I mean, they're all mostly in California or Texas. So, maybe try another one. Don't give up on it, I would say, though.
Great. All right. Our next question. Go ahead.
It was a second part because you want to know how we.
Oh, yes. You're right. Thank you, Jones.
I stream. I play games that sometimes I think I should be streaming this. Like Sea of Thieves came out, and like I have been dabbling in the beta, but like we should really get on that and get definitely cover that this weekend. And so there's a little bit of that guilt there where I'm like, I should be streaming this right now, but I just want to play it for a couple hours just for myself. So it's like that little private time is one way I try to maintain being a video game fan and not just like a journalist all the time or host or whatever. Being selfish.
I find it hard to get sick of video games because there are so many. I think there are definitely things blow up in a way that it can be easy to get sick of them for a little while, where like it just feels so in your face all the time that it's not that you don't like it, but just kind of want to sidestep it for a little while it's kind of having its moment, and then return to it while it's calmed down. Like that definitely happens like once or twice a year, I think, for sure. I don't know if Huber's here or not. I'd like to hear his perspective on how he keeps enthusiastic for games. Kyle, you got an answer?
Yeah, it's weird. I've like never been bored of games. Even like when my job was being a QA tester, just playing games all day long, in the most unfun way possible. I would still want to come home and play more video games. It's strange. It's never really been a big issue for me. And so you ask like how? There's no way. There's no way. It's just about you know, it's about like what your brain wants, you know? And so if your brain gets tired of games, that's just what your brain is doing. I don't know if there's a way to prevent that.
I think for me, I get tired of a game, but that doesn't mean I get tired of all games. So if I get tired of a game, I stop playing it, and then I play something else.
Yeah, I don't let games become a chore, for sure.
Right. Like if you don't like a game, don't play it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Next one from Ryan. I sometimes have trouble coming up with questions, but something came to me while I was eating my favorite meal of the day. What is your favorite breakfast food and or custom? To me, there's
Jones's favorite.
There's nothing better than waking up with some coffee, orange juice, and pretty much any kind of eggs, breakfast meats, and breakfast carbs that exist. Thank you all for the quality content you guys consistently put out. You're the best.
I usually don't eat a lot at breakfast, but when I do, it's recently been an English muffin with peanut butter on it.
That's not breakfast, dude.
Did you not hear what I just said?
The question was your favorite, not what you usually eat.
Yeah, that's my favorite right now, Kyle. That's why I'm eating it.
Okay, dude.
I feel like this Q&A, just tensions have slowly risen. We'll be right about to break at 2 p.m.
I love a breakfast sandwich that's made out of a bagel. Big time.
You would.
Mm-hmm. I eat every day. I have an iced tea and a wheat bagel with nothing on it, not heated up, not cut in half.
Iced tea every day?
Every single day, yeah.
Do you get like store-bought or like a bottle one?
Yeah, I'll get like a bottled one, Pure Leaf or whatever. I prefer one that doesn't have like natural flavors in it because that's generally like pesticide. But
sure,
the grocery store by my house isn't a fancy one, so I don't have Whole Foods options. But if I'm splurging, I'll go to Lee Payne Quotidian and I'll get the mini Dutch pancakes and the iced tea. And I love it. And it costs like way too much money.
I usually have a smoothie, but shout out to Amanda Troop this morning. Grapefruit, French toast, bacon, maple syrup.
Dang.
Aces.
Who's Amanda Troop?
Yeah.
I can't remember the
chef. No,
I can't remember the last time I went a day without coffee. Like every day, coffee in the morning. Yeah. You know, it just aligns you correctly for taking on the world. Yeah. I never have breakfast because I never have time. I'm either busy trying to get something done or just don't think about it. But breakfast food is like some of my favorite food. Like you can give me eggs, bacon, ham, hash browns, omelets any day of the week. I love French toast is great. I love breakfast food. I'm not that into pancakes. Love waffles. Not that into pancakes. But yeah.
They're the same basically.
Hey man, I'm telling you,
it's all about the shapes.
I'm telling you,
I think they're extremely different. Yeah,
telling you how it is for me.
It's a texture issue.
Yeah, like how when you were a kid and the funny shaped pasta tasted better.
It still does taste better to me.
Yeah.
And I'm the lone dissenter, I guess. French toast is like the best breakfast food I can have, but even that in general, I don't like breakfast foods. Like I spent a month literally trying to go to a different place every day for breakfast around me. There's many different places. And after a month, I was like, I don't like any of these breakfast foods. I can name 10 places I can go get a lunch or dinner right now that would blow away anything I've had in the last month for breakfast. I think it's just
that's a challenge, Damiani. I will take you somewhere.
I don't generally like sausage and bacon are okay, but I don't generally like them. And eggs are okay, but like I don't generally like eggs as much. So and there's like a lot of bread involved with breakfast. So it's like,
what about a breakfast burrito, Damiani?
no, because like it doesn't taste like it ends up being like, man, I just want like a regular burrito. Like this is like got eggs and sausage in it. It's like this knockoff. It's not like a.
Damiani, what if I told you that breakfast is a state of mind? You could just eat a regular burrito.
Oh, I know. I know that, but then that's like I mean, foods is specifically designed to be breakfast foods.
Easy update idea: taking Damiani to breakfast.
I love it.
Okay, great.
I want to drive to Tahoe though to go to Damiani's house.
Tahoe? He lives in Tahoe?
He's making a joke.
It's a 7-hour commute.
I really like Ian's dedication to this bit.
It's not a bit.
I mean, you live in Reno and he lives in Tahoe.
Yeah.
That's why
it's just where we live. No bits detected. All right.
No bits.
Our next one, Kyle, this is like one of your favorite questions when they're just very direct with us. This is from Ahmad. He says, hello, allies. Did you add anything to season 2 of Tabletop Escapades to make it better? My tiny issue with the first season is forgetting stuff like side characters, so maybe the players can take notes to help them remember. Thanks for everything you do. P.S. Therese is the real main character. Well, we're shooting the first batch of season 2 episodes on Mondays. We haven't done it yet. So technically nothing is in it, but just from my perspective, the scale of season 2 is going to be a lot smaller, where it's not going to be like, okay, the world is ending, deal with it. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be kind of very like local problems, and depending on where they're going, they may want to get involved, they may not. There might be things connecting those problems together, but it's not going to be like, okay, heroes, go save the world. Not that I'm against that. I actually think that can be very fun, but I want it to be and feel different than season 1. At the same time, though, and like this really needs to be said, and it's kind of a shame because there are so many people that watch Tabletop Escapades that have no familiarity with D&D. And I think the thing that you kind of have to appreciate with D&D is that really like it's 95% improv. So, if we get in there and whoever is like, well, I take a boat and I sail to the other side of the island, I leave everybody else. Like suddenly whatever story you're trying to make, right, has to include this whole other thing. And so it's really just about respecting the player's motivations, and like you give them a frame, but they can bend and break and twist that frame however they want to. But with all that being said, there were way too many side characters in season 1 of Tabletop Escapades. So I don't think there will be, the ensemble cast will definitely be pruned for sure.
Our new rule of every side character having to be dead by the end of an episode will really help, I think.
Yeah, we've been really good about that.
Thin the herd,
That's not a new rule, Ian. That is been since Tabletop Adventures practice. So, but that was me commenting on it. Did any of the other players have any things that they're kind of thinking about or focused on for season 2?
I think we're going to incorporate a lot of CG elements into season 2.
Way more nudity too.
I actually predict there will probably be more nudity.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're at that point.
Granted.
As a player, it's hard to be a player and a person who wants it to be a good show, Yeah. And so I don't know, maybe be focused more on the player this season.
I like that. I think that is a really good mindset.
I think if
you've already got the showmanship stuff down.
Yeah, I think if we're playing it and really committed to it, it'll be a better show.
Yeah, I agree.
I think playing a new character will help invigorate, at least for me. Played the same character for like a year and a half. I think it'll be nice to kind of try something different.
2 years, Brad?
Yeah, it has been almost 2 years. Just a little more fresh.
Mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up.
I'm a real boy now, so.
You are a real boy.
For now. For now.
Is Jones asleep?
Yes.
I got Tex-Neck.
Tex-Neck,
dude.
Enough for that.
Tex-Mex.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Lean back.
Tex-Neck, bad. Tex-Mex, delicious.
Good.
I don't know. Do we all just do this now? Is this how we text now?
Yeah.
You look to counteract the
Bring it
years.
up.
Yeah, hold it up.
Jones, we're gonna wake you up with this next question coming right at you.
What?
You're gonna face the
ready.
brunt of it.
Ready.
All right, this is from Caesar. He says, "Hello, allies. I want to build a gaming music library, and I'm counting on your wise input. Blood will either love or hate this. Blood's not here. I'll be using the following months to gather your favorite soundtracks of all time. Since we are dealing with over 30 years of gaming history, we'll be focusing on a different console each month. But don't just think exclusives. Multi-platform games count. Also, this is not a debate. We don't want to narrow it down. We want to expand. If 5 games pop to mind, don't choose. Just mention all of them. Be risky. Be wild. This month, the PS3. What are your favorite soundtracks on that system? Jones, what are your favorite soundtracks that exist on PS3?
Ooh. So yeah, I'm just thinking about that gen because it'd probably be a multi-platform thing. Well, yeah, MGS4 has a not only legendary soundtrack, but it's a legendary soundtrack that expands through the entire franchise. So you're going back in time. Also, lots of nostalgia in that soundtrack. We should just do round robin. Like I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good, Jones. You nailed it.
Because when you said soundtracks, I was like, oh, well, BioShock. BioShock.
Yeah, keep going. Dig into yourself, Jones. You got this.
Off the top of my head, Journey.
Okay.
Journey. Then I think there's like an LP of that you can get too. Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah, Jones, those are a good 3. Nice.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Ooh.
Very good pick. Very good pick.
Really like that one.
Nino Kuni.
Yeah.
What is it? Favorite?
No. Not favorite. Just soundtracks that
out.
spring to mind.
Oh, I really like Jessica Curry's stuff. Dear Esther and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Is that PS3?
This is PS3.
Dear Esther was PC.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is PS4, I think.
We got to stick to the gen.
PS3.
Oh, it's PS3?
Yep.
Sorry, I was thinking about ways to improve tabletop,
it.
so I kind of missed the question.
Do you have one?
The original Nier springs to mind immediately.
Ooh, good pick, Ben.
El Shaddai is a game that like I have some problems with, but I like this music isn't coming into my head, but I remember liking the music, so maybe check that out. It's a good one.
Last of Us.
Last of Us, yeah, absolutely. That's a great
Love that
pick.
soundtrack.
There's some cool stuff in Portal 2 as well.
For sure.
For sure.
Little Big
Eater.
Planet 1 is the one I got.
That is a great one.
Did you say Snake Eater in?
Wrong
Snake
gen
Eater.
again.
Wrong gen.
Swinging
What?
Focus.
MGS3 wasn't PS3?
No,
No, it's PS2.
Well, technically it was kind
Let's
of
give
because
you
you
the
have
MGS3 was PS2?
you have the
Oh
re-release.
God, I'm old.
Yeah.
I don't understand time.
Deadly Premonition has a great soundtrack. And also, you don't need the whole soundtrack, but you need the title screen song of Dragon's Dogma. Like, whatever list you're making,
Yes.
you need the title screen song of Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
It has to
Dragon's Dogma, yeah.
There have
good
been
one.
lots of excellent nominations here, but there
now,
can only be one winner, and hands
Here we
down,
go.
light years beyond anything you've heard. PlayStation 3 classic, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh God.
good. I mean, actually, great.
Cannot
pick. Yeah.
compete with that soundtrack.
Puppeteer has a great soundtrack also.
Ooh, nice.
There's one that I'm going to remember as soon as this Q&A ends. It's going to drive me insane.
BioShock is a really good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
BioShock is a really good one. All right. Our next question comes in from Silent Constant. He says, this is a question for all the allies, especially those that weren't involved in the bets at GT. I want to know what it was like behind the scenes, especially for those that were not involved. Were they disruptive? Did they bother others in their cubicles? Give me the real life, The Office vibes of these events. Bonus for Kyle and Huber. How many takes of the WWE style banter did it take? And did Kyle ever lose his voice?
They usually only take 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever did a
Nice.
retake of the
Yeah,
WWE banter.
I
like
don't
never.
recall ever doing a retake.
And no rehearsals either. We got that. Yeah, we had that down. But yeah, I think we would both lose our voices from time to time.
Yeah.
I do remember high-level employees, anytime that they were shooting bets, they would at first they would whisper, but then they kind of like got so annoyed that they were talking so everybody else can hear it, and they were like, we have to get rid of these guys. Like, I can't do anything. That happened. It was embarrassing, really.
No, but like from my perspective anyway, from people outside of us, they never seemed too bothered, I feel like. No. Even at Defy, I think it was even encouraged. Well, they hated the noise we made in that one room, but like when we had the huge cubicle space at Defy, it never seemed like people were bothered by us moving around with cameras and stuff.
Yeah. Remember that bit you shot with Kojima? Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah. I could have been better. I'm still always regretful of that.
Kyle, let it go, man. You did great.
I know. It's time to let it go, man.
You did your best, dude.
Didn't do my best. That's the whole point.
Well, it's like, what could he do with Kojima? He's a busy man.
So busy.
Something more elaborate. Like if he pulled out the number 5, I think it would have been a better bit.
We got a Nike unboxing going on over here.
Oh, let's do it.
See those kicks.
Right, Ian, you have to talk so the camera moves to you.
Yeah, full screen.
The PlayStation ones?
Whoa.
Oh.
Let's see. It's got parts. What is it? What makes these special, Omar?
These are the new Hirachi Drift Premiums.
These are the new Hirachi Drift Premiums.
Those are really nice looking shoes.
Okay,
Can you drift
this is like, you can like take this part off.
Yeah. So strap comes off.
The strap
Whoa.
comes off.
My Hirachi drifts are cooler.
Something happens with the back too.
Kyle, we got to get you some of those, dude.
No, I don't wear nice
good in those shoes.
That's what I'm saying. Just really nice kicks. And that's it.
That'd be pretty funny.
Anyway.
Very expensive high tops.
That's fine.
All day.
Brennan, do you have any behind the scenes stuff that you want to say about the bets at GT specifically?
What I remember at GT that was great about the bets that I miss so much is whenever we do bets now, it's all hands show up at the same time for like a specific time. We're all here, and then we just kind of stand around waiting to be involved in bets. But we kind of hear it happening, and we're all involved at the same time. At GT, you'd get like a bet warning. Like somebody would come in and be like, 10-minute warning, bets. And like, all right. And so it was fun just like answering an email or writing something. And then all of a sudden, just like no setup. Now Huber just comes in live. Like, okay, Jones. Like, all right, here, we're doing this right now. Okay.
And I missed that part big time.
That loose cannon part of it was fun. And I think it added to the energy of, you know, that legit surprise. Like if you ever saw a video where somebody just walked into my office, like I did not know they were coming. Like that was really just
Hubert, do you remember the time where it was like, will Damiani change his mind about Metal Gear Solid 5 or something?
Yes.
And we had to burst into the conference room while they're having an important meeting. And like, actually at that time, I think people weren't cool with it. Damiani was in a meeting that we should not have interrupted.
They were like, what are you doing in here right now?
We got hard side eye until we left, but yeah.
Was it Hoffman?
No. I think that was like, I think it was just like they were doing like a top 10 or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Damiani, do you remember that, dude? Okay. All right.
Whatever.
Time can.
Our next question, this is the long one, so be ready. It's from Richard. He says, hello, allies. First, I'll explain. Ben, you missed my pretentious Silent Hill 2 question in the October Q&A, which debuted my question format, where I reveal the subject at the very end, but I do have a reason for this format. Dear allies, I'd like to talk with you about what I feel is the best example of level design of all time. The game in question is a remake. Every single room has a purpose, even though they added so many new areas not seen in the original. I already know what this is. The item balancing is perfectly calculated that new players face challenge, but the deficit can be mastered through experience. They took an already formidable enemy gameplay loop and added a new, deeper
gameplay
system.
Loop. There it is. Yeah, there it is, Kyle.
which required extra thinking, a revision of prior knowledge and rotes, and which required more items encumbering your inventory, putting you at greater danger, slowing you down, increasing the horror. I don't think I've ever experienced the location that felt so right from a design perspective, such as this. Is the remake that was a remake before remakes were cool. In closing, I love you all. Dear allies, please talk about the Resident Evil Remake mansion.
Masterpiece.
There's only one thing that doesn't hold up with that mansion for new players, and it's the door on the staircase that leads outside
to the graves.
Sure,
a lot of people missed that door, man. A lot of people.
I forgot about it.
That.
My last playthrough, I legit got 100% stuck. I was like, "Well, I'm done with this."
Yep.
And I was like, "I wonder what it is." And I'm like, "Oh, it's that damn door that was there."
A lot of people missed that door.
Don't you have the map right away though?
People, you know.
Oh, sorry.
You're not relying on the map.
Should just put indicators like on Fantasy VII. Hit that select button. Little red arrows come up. Hey, there's a door here.
No,
that's a thing that I'm surprised more games didn't take advantage of. I think that feature is really useful. Resident Evil Remake is the only game. Well, not the only game, but is a game that has been in my personal top 10 for 5 or 6 years now. Think about how much work went into that, man. If it just looked as good as it did, that would have been enough, and it was the same game. But not only did they add things, but they added things that still kept everything that was good about the same game there, but also completely changed it at the same time. It was like threading a needle for a remake in a way that I've never seen. So many remakes come out, and the question is, you can see it with Secret of Mana right now. Is this what we want? Does this look okay? Is this right? That's never been said about Resident Evil Remake. That's just how it should look.
Well, I can't really think of any other times when the creator remade his own game.
Right.
Yeah. So Mikami redo it. He gets another crack at it, you know?
Right. Do you think maybe part of the reason for that is they don't think that we notice that matters so much? Do we not make enough of a stink about it?
Yeah, and maybe just people want to move on to other games,
Sure.
You know?
It's just not feasible.
Yeah. But I think I love the Lisa Trevor bits.
Yes.
The most.
Yes.
And Resident Evil Remake. I mean, just expanding the story, giving the mansion more of an identity, making everything make even more sense than it did in the original. All that stuff is just so good.
Well, not only more sense, but sense, stuff that didn't make sense, and kind of reading letters that would point to the absurdity of how this house was built. And it's no, there's a reason there's a reason you need some dumb key. And I think that was my favorite letter. Was I pick up some letter and it's I think it's Trevor who's oh, I got to get out of here. I've made the decision that I got to leave, but that's not easy. I can't, So you get to thinking maybe the windows are crazy bulletproof glass, and you can't all these things where I'm just kick the door down. I remember Damian, you made a video of a show that we never premiered at GT where you just dragged RE's story through the grinder. You're none of this makes sense. And I think I think Remake really addressed a lot of that in a surprising, horrific way. But Lisa, I mean, just top to bottom, the design, when you bump into her groan, adding a lot more dimension to that specific area, which I think needed it, which was just kind of a hallway, in the original Resident Evil, which is just all right, get to the greenhouse, done. And having that just go off in all sorts of different directions.
I'm sorry, there was a show where Damiani rants about lore.
Yeah. What?
It was
it wasn't lore. It was basically the premise was to point out the absurdity of video game logic in their own games and involve lore and rules. And
time before Reddit.
And Resident Evil was the first one we could do. Resident Evil 1. I was just gonna point out the absurdity of these highly trained STARS operatives can't kick down rickety wooden doors in the
can't climb a fence.
Can't climb a fence. It's okay, I get it. The dogs ambushed you. You're back in the mansion. You regrouped. Open now. Just take your military positions and let them in with your guns and shoot them. It's you were ambushed, but now you've got a safe position. You can fight back. The stupid stupid decisions made. I was it was horror 101 though. Hey, let's do everything to keep leading you into
Wesker pulling the strings.
Wesker at the end was
leading them into a trap the whole time.
Classic.
Like how many like doors? I was like, you need to go get a key. Barry Bird would just be like, screw this door, bam, knock it down. We're not waiting for that. I got this big gun, bam. Let me through the door.
Burton's family is being held hostage by Wesker's cronies if he doesn't do everything he's told.
Jill or Chris easily. Jill could have easily knocked down those doors. Would have been like.
So here's the thing. So Damiani made this video, wrote and edited it.
Wrote the script.
I
didn't get past the script phase. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wrote a script. Read. Yeah, and then was decided against. I just want to add something to it. We're talking about goals for 2018. I'm going to start cracking down on the use of the words remaster versus remake. Y'all be calling things remakes that are not remakes. And I think, and they are insults to things like the recent Shadow of the Colossus, Resident Evil for GameCube, Final Fantasy VII, which is in development. Like those are remakes. Whereas like remasters sometimes, we're like, yeah, I'm excited about that Parappa remake. It's like it's not a remake.
Shadow's a remake. Shadow of the Colossus.
That is a remade that game.
That is a remake.
You can go to a store and buy the remake and the remaster. It's a perfect example of like, okay, this was ground up, this was polished.
I agree, Jones.
So
Parappa's ground up. Parappa's ground up. They had to redo every single texture in the game.
Remake.
It was ground up.
It's a remake.
That's a remake then.
Well, good to know things are going well in 2018.
Crimson Heads are one of the greatest enemies in video games. Usually, I always want things to come back because I love sequels and franchises. But I'm cool if Crimson Heads never come back out of respect because they're just so fun in that game.
Retire the jersey.
Yeah, just retire them. Villain Hall of Fame, Crimson Heads.
Can we not retire Nemesis, though?
Nemesis has to come back at some point in the future.
He's dead.
Hey, he's in Marvel vs. Capcom, though. I get to mess around with Nemesis.
Do another tyrant model. It's just a tyrant model.
I gotta know, man. Like, I consider Resident Evil Remake the best remake that there ever was. And so because of that, when you have something where it just totally eclipses so many other examples, like how do you not get worried about something like Resident Evil 2 when that's what it's fighting against?
The only reason I'm not worried about Resident Evil 2 is because no matter what, at the end of the day, the original will always be there for me to go back to. Win or lose, nothing.
So you've already won, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just getting more.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Next question comes in from Shadow. Hi, allies. What is the most underrated game that you've ever played, and why would you recommend it? This could be a game that you feel deserved more love from other critics, or one that simply flew entirely under the radar. Most underrated game.
DMC Devil May Cry. There was a vendetta on this game before it even came out. There was a witch hunt. Everyone wrote this game off just because of the way a character looks. Unacceptable. Give it another shot. Fantastic action game.
What if I have other problems than the character's looks?
Yeah, I have to disagree
Name
with you, Huber.
Prove it.
Sorry,
Prove it.
DMC got good when they finished it, when they released the definitive edition. That's what should have been out day one. End of story right there.
Then the DMC definitive edition.
Wait, what's different about definitive edition?
They like fixed every single complaint about the game from like longtime fans was just like fixed. Like everything that like gameplay mechanics wise, it should have probably been in there. They just threw in there. They gave everything. Like it was like, okay, that's great. But they had to wait to listen to like the negative reviews, or not every review is negative, but like the most commonly leveraged complaints against DMC.
Well, I remember before even definitive edition came out, they had a couple patches like straight away. I remember initially though, like the combo ranking was kind of messed up. It was way too easy to get like triple S or whatever, and they patched that within like a week or two. That was one of the biggest complaints I remember when that game came out. Everyone's like, it's so stupid, you just get triple S. It's like within weeks, it was fixed. Vendetta. Grudge.
Does Dragon's Dogma count? Was that
yes?
Well received, or because I feel like no one
I think it was well received.
I have no idea.
But it's fair to say underrated in terms of sales, I think.
Yeah. I love that stupid.
I don't know, man. They released it on like 4 platforms now, and they had like
True.
a huge expansion for it.
And Dragon's
But I
Dogma
never
Online.
hear about it. No one ever
Yeah,
talks
Dragon's
about
Dogma
it.
Online.
It's kind of underrated.
I mean, it's an older game now.
You just need to hang out with us, Maureen. We'll talk about Dragon's
I
Dogma.
mean, we talk about it, but I've never heard anyone but
I
us
mean,
ever say
before
those words.
I worked at GT or anything like that, I knew about it and everything.
Oh, okay.
I think it's underrated.
I think really recently, now having played through all of it, the silver case is really cool and has a lot of good stuff going on. And I think more people would get into the bizarre and weird relatability of the silver case if they give it a chance. I think more people should be talking about that game. I also think like everyone in this chat, if you guys gave Trails in the Sky a chance, I would bet that most of you would like it if you were to play Trails in the Sky. And I think more people just in general, it's something that's like, I think gotten a fair bit of buzz like fairly recently, but I think Trails in the Sky deserves more love than it's getting for sure.
Mega Man Legends is poorly understood.
What do you mean by that? Why is it poorly understood? How do they misunderstand it?
I think that at the time it's like, this is 3D Mega Man, and so it had to deal with that expectation. And I think, like, let's say Michael Huber, who will never play Mega Man Legends, when he looks at it, he sees it as a game with sloppy controls, the story he doesn't care about.
Why are you calling me out?
Because you don't ever play it. You'll never play that game.
Right,
And so I
appreciate
I'll
it.
try to get in the mind of people who like will never play it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like understand the people who like have written it off.
To me,
you
it
know?
looks like just like a adventure game with Mega Man. That's how I would like reduce it.
Yeah, dude. It's a Zelda game with Mega Man.
But
That's
is it like
the
Dark
best.
Souls though?
That's like the best possible game you can make, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Kyle. Like, it looks. I think there's something there. Like, Mega Man Legends always looks cool to me. If I didn't know you guys, I probably wouldn't even pay it any attention.
Yo,
But-
Huber.
But even like knowing how great it is because of you guys, I still can't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the case. Like, I understand you guys say it's amazing, a classic, but I
Yeah.
look at it and I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's good, but I
Yeah.
don't really know.
That's why I'm bringing a video next time. I'm bringing it to Hall of Grades.
Nice.
I'm going to need the video element.
Nice.
Huber, you haven't played a lot of just like Mega Man in general, right?
Yeah, I've only beaten like 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, that would be cool. It'd be fun to like go through some of the Mega Man games with you.
Hell yeah, dude. I was so close to buying the Legacy Collection after the Easy Living.
Do it.
I just think
Do it, Huber.
Do it.
It's hard. Those games are hard.
Or you can borrow mine.
Oh, you'll
I
be
have them.
fine.
Yeah.
I totally believe that you can get through those games. No
Dude,
problem.
the X ones are so cool.
Also, they have save states now.
Yeah.
Easy mode.
Legacy Collection 2 like kind of has it doesn't have save states, it has checkpoint saves. And
Nice.
so you
Okay.
can't save at any time.
Checkpoint, so that's super nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice, but it's not as forgiving as the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 where you could save anywhere you wanted to at any point.
Mhm. With those checkpoints, do you keep your lives or you can game over still?
No, you keep so those checkpoints, so however many lives you have at that point at that checkpoint save,
Yeah.
if you reload that checkpoint save, that's the number of
okay.
lives that you'll have.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. Okay. We are running out of time. Good answers. Thank you, Kyle, for that Mega Man Legends thing. We didn't get a lot of other underrated games, though. We didn't hear from a lot of people.
Puppeteer again on PS3. Great platformer, super unique. No one played it.
Mine might seem weird because this game is in the top 10 NPD like every month, and it's one of the top rated video games of all time. But it amazes me how much content Grand Theft Auto Online pumps out, and no one talks about it. That game is making so much money every day, every week, every month, and the tons of people playing it. It's a huge game for streaming, and I'm a super hypocrite because I just bailed on it. I've just been focusing on other things.
Red Dead
And,
Jones.
It's amazing, yeah, and just looking
Save
ahead
yourself.
at what they're gonna do. It's really crazy. It's because I see a lot of other online games, and I just think that vibe that they put on in GTA is so different that you're just like you're actually in a city. Like they're actually trying to like recreate like a modern crime environment instead of just being like you're all on this crazy island, all trying to kill each other, or you're in this like in Call of Duty, like you're in this constricted space. It's like you drive a car, you drive a boat, drive a helicopter, shoot a gun. It's like all sorts of ride a bike. There's just a lot of crazy stuff you can do.
Jones, have you ever considered dropping us and becoming a professional GT Online player?
Not when you say the word professional, it just shuts the whole thing down.
No, but I mean, like, come check out my Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, full time. Maybe not professional, but I'm not saying you have to be the best at it. I'm just saying, like, you have your GTA Online YouTube channel.
I mean, you've tempted me now, Ben. How do you feel about that?
Great. I want you to be happy. That's what I want. So whatever that means. Yeah. And you work Sophie into the deal. Ooh. I could see it being good. Yeah. Damiani, underrated games, real quick.
I got 2. I was digging through my old GT review list, and I found 2. Muramasa the Demon Blade. Especially when it originally came out. I think it got a little bit of a second chance when they re-released it, but originally it seemed to get a little bit overlooked. And then Resonance of Fate. I wish that was the one game I completely understand, because I make the argument against games all the time. Like, it takes too long to get into it. If it's just too complicated and it's taking so long to explain itself and it's asking that much of you, it's totally fair to just walk away. But it's like one of the games I truly wish I could just like impart the getting over the hump part bestowed upon anyone who played it immediately, so they could just jump in and be like, that part's done with. And like, now let me know how you feel about the game when like it's clicking and stuff. And I guess I actually think a lot more people would really like it if they just that part were present.
And our last question of the day comes in from Tim. He says, "Hi, allies. Usually New Year's resolutions are about improving yourself in one way or another, or about erasing bad habits. I want to focus on the latter type of resolutions. So my question to each ally is, which bad habit would you want to erase as a New Year's resolution if you could be sure that you succeeded in doing so? Side note, your choice does not have to be EZA related."
Text neck.
Yeah.
Bring it back around.
Staying up late, being tired.
Eat some breakfast, everyone. Ben, eat some breakfast.
Okay. That's not going to be mine, though, because I spend every week, I spend an inordinate amount of time looking for something that I placed somewhere in the apartment and I don't know where I placed it. Like, whether that's a remote or like a hard drive or keys or something, like, all the time. It eats up like just like 10 or 15-minute chunks where I'm looking for it. And it's like, why is that on top of the refrigerator? Like, just nonsensical bullshit that I need to cut out of my life. That has to go away.
I spend too much money on takeout and delivery. I want to change that. Like, I never cook for myself anymore. I just get delivery every day.
Dude, Ian, let's cook together.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because you live in like Venezuela, you know.
No, he lives in Tahoe.
No, that's where Damiani lives in Tahoe.
I live in Reno. Now it's a big.
Kyle lives in Reno.
No, Kyle lives in Reno.
You know what? Fine, I'm from Venezuela.
I'm not asking you first.
I live in Mammoth.
Yeah. We should hit the slopes.
No other New Year's resolutions? Stay quiet.
I want to remember to eat better. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, it's funny that like the challenge is to do negative resolutions. Like, what is something that's you're doing bad and you want to stop doing that? You know what I mean?
We get it. You're perfect.
I thought you loved these kind of. It's so confusing.
No, I mean, this was like something that you personally like. Do you smoke cigarettes? Stop smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? Do you order takeout every day?
Stop smoking.
Kyle, stop smoking cigarettes, dude.
Oh.
How many times are we gonna tell you?
Can that be my answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll stop. I'll quit.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Actually, sincere answer. I am scaling back on caffeine.
Yeah.
What?
Scaling back.
Good
Scale
boy.
it up.
Oh, don't leave me, dude. What?
Don't leave.
Scaling back.
Such an addict.
Oh, wait, like what's the scale here? Like how?
So, like,
from how
last
much-
night-
how much?
Last night I had a Mountain Dew for before my stream. So like it's not 0, but like I haven't had a coffee in a week.
What?
How you feeling?
Yeah, no coffee in a week. Okay, not
Wait.
good.
Didn't you check the coffee pot yesterday at the Gundam stream?
Because there's mold in it, Jones. There's mold in the coffee pot.
You should probably throw that out.
Great. Ruined.
You know who hasn't made coffee in that coffee pot in 2018?
Me either.
I don't think
Oh, so
So-
you're scaling back on caffeine too, Jones?
No, I'm just saying I'm not responsible for that mold.
Oh,
You're not responsible for any of it.
I don't know.
It's just us.
Kyle, what I do is I don't allow caffeine after like 4 p.m. You could try that. Drink whatever you
Man.
want before that.
Bunch of old mates. I'll drink a
So, Kyle,
coffee.
will you be
Let's go.
disappointed if I bring you a coffee to the group stream?
yeah, I would be disappointed.
Okay, I will not do it.
Enabler.
Huber, I'll take his coffee. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Can you get me an iced tea too, Huber?
Only if I go to the Deus Ex place.
Yeah.
The word Spectre.
In Burbank.
All right, everybody. That is going to be our January 2018 Q&A. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to all the guys. Thanks for all of the questions that we submitted. We definitely did not get through all of them. We were pretty bad at it, in fact. So we'll try to be better next month. I was really happy in December when we got through all of them. But thank you nonetheless. Yeah, there were a few of us. Thank you to everybody who did get a question in, and whether you submitted it, whether we answered it or not. There will be details on Patreon. So the way we do it, to kind of clear things up, is the first post for the Q&A will always be when the submissions are going to happen. So when you see that first post for the Q&A, it is going to be like, it will go up at this point. And that's just kind of get everybody on the same page. And then there will be an actual time and date given for when we'll take actual submissions. And that is for the $20 and up patrons. So yeah, thanks everybody. Any closing words?
I got a coffee pot to clean.
Okay, great. Good closing word. Good closing word. Text Nick.
Has anyone's internet been like super messed up?
I
No.
don't think so.
Man, mine's been choppy.
It's
when
hard
you were
in
streaming,
Cincinnati,
maybe?
you know.
Yeah, when I was like trying to get here today too, and it's just like choppy internet.
That Brazilian internet, Huber. Gotta get
Yeah.
out of there.
Yeah, I gotta talk to the government about it.
All right, we're out.
I'm going to the